scissor half guard here. Just go across your ankles. So this is, we're gonna do half guard passing today. We're gonna turn this one into a drill because it's pretty close to what you guys have seen before, and it'll make sense in just a second. So the reason this one's tough to pass is I got this shin right in front of me. He has my hips pretty much killed here. So if I start coming into him, he's got a lot of control. He can really start jacking me up. So there's a lot of different ways to pass this, and Brad and Johnny have shown a lot recently. So we're gonna do, we're just gonna do one of the ones that Johnny showed me a long time ago. It's been money, and it ties into our system really well. So what you're gonna do, normally if you have a gi, you're grabbing a lapel here. If you don't have the lapel, just go ahead and just clamp down on the shoulder here. So the other hand's gonna come underneath the knee. You're just cupping the bottom of the knee. Now the key detail here is my foot positioning, the one in his half guard. So if I keep my right leg here where it is, it's not gonna be any good for me. I'm gonna come up on my toes and kind of wedge my knee into Daryl's butt. So that way when I come up standing, my knee's nice and deep here, okay? So now we're in our really familiar guard passing position, right? You guys that have been here. I'm gonna try to X pass. Daryl keeps his ankles crossed. Cross knee out. Right? That's pretty familiar for everybody at this point. Don't give me blank stares, you're scaring me. Spent a lot of time on this. So Daryl's blocking my hip. Just control, just get something just to keep some pressure down. Hand underneath the knee, up on your toes, and you're driving that knee into his butt. Just right between his, right into his taint, for lack of a better word here. All right? I don't have a better word. I don't have a better word. And that way what you guys look at the blog anyway, so don't worry about it. So I'm gonna come up standing and get Daryl square, flat on his hips. So I'm gonna try to X pass out, his legs follow me, boom, slap him, start cross knee and hips, come through, get your underhook, and your pass. Pretty simple, right?
Sir?
You guys good? It's like 5th grade. You guys are like, oh, you get that cross knee going. That's gonna be very important. That step's also gonna be in your half guard pass. So I want to make that connection for you. All right, so I'm in half guard. Regular half guard. So we're assuming the hip block's not an issue here. So when I'm in half guard, I basically have like a decision tree in my head. If this, I do this. If this, I do this. If this, I do this. So the best case scenario, I want the underhook, okay? If I have the underhook, I'm doing this pass. If I don't have the underhook, I could be, the other scenarios I have, it could be more of a neutral position where neither of us really have an underhook, but I'm still kind of on top controlling. Or the worst case scenario, Daryl has an underhook. Now things are starting to get bad for me, okay? So we're starting with the underhook. If you have the underhook, you're in awesome shape. So what you want to do is get the head. If he's turning towards you, just cross face him nice and good, flatten him out, get head and arm control. Now what I like to do here, a lot of guys, they play this, they kneel here. What I like to do is I like to angle my hip towards Daryl's hips just a little bit. And I bring my free leg in, and I pinch his leg. I kind of half guard him back from the top. This just keeps his hips locked down, so I know I'm not going to move backwards into full guard. I just keep this nice and controlled, and I keep this foot behind me like a kickstand. I go like this like a pencil, I'm getting rolled. I keep this foot here, I keep him rolling. It's a little goofy position, it's something that I just do. Go and play with it. This is going to work either way. So now I'm here, I have my underhook, and I have head and arm control. Now I'm going to do my cross knee pass. So to do my cross knee pass, the first thing I want to do, so I got shoulder pressure here, I'm going to replace that shoulder pressure with head pressure. Bring my head on this side, and I push into Daryl's head. Nice, I gotta keep pressure on that head. I don't want to just be hanging out here. I gotta get head on the mat and pressure into Daryl's head. I can be pretty mean here if I want to. Now this free leg is gonna step out. Look what happened to Daryl's hips. Daryl's hips twisted to follow mine, but his shoulders are still flat, right? So now Daryl's in a very weak position. The body's not strong here. If I don't step, Daryl can actually sweep me here. But now I got all my weight loaded up on this side. It's very difficult for Daryl to roll me. It's very difficult for Daryl to move. Now I can just cross knee right out of this, just like we've been doing. As soon as you have this underhook, do not get rid of this underhook. If you have this underhook, you should be cross knee passing every time. Okay? You should just be blasting out at half guard. You should be like, I won this, and just wreck it. Got the head, pinch the leg back. If you're doing this little leg position here, just kind of flare that foot out like a kickstand. Replace your shoulder pressure with head pressure. You can even kind of drive back into Daryl if you want. Now you gotta step out. This is very important. Do not mess this up. If I stay here and try and cross knee, he's gonna beat me up a little bit. I gotta step. I kind of drive my hip to the mat as I do this. Now from here, this hand is kind of a freebie hand because I'm posting on my head and on my foot. If Daryl starts kind of reaching for my leg here, I can catch this. I can keep this out. I can keep this arm control here if I need to. If this leg starts coming up like he's trying to get full guard, I can check it. And cross knee through. All right, one more time. Underhook, head control. Keeps the leg, everything's nice and tight. Replace shoulder control with head control. Drive in, step out, angle those hips down. Cross knee. Now if you get here and you're still pinching, just go and kick it again. You'll be out, okay? It should be super uncomfortable for your partner. So just do 3 reps and switch, 3 reps and switch, then we'll go on to the next technique. I'm gonna approach here. If I land in a neutral position, okay, where Daryl has a really crappy underhook, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over his shoulder. I'm gonna turn my hips towards his. I'm kind of driving my knee under his knee, okay? So I'm kind of still pinching his legs here. And in this position, I got a lot of chest pressure on Daryl. I'm kind of leaning on my weight here. I'm just gonna heel, go hang on to the half guard next time. I'm just gonna heel toe up above my thigh. I'm gonna heel toe, walk up into his butt, okay? I need my foot up here. If it's down here, Daryl's actually in a pretty good spot. I wanna go all the way up here. It takes me a couple little steps, that's fine. So now in this position here, this is a really good pass position for me. The guy I learned it from called the unstoppable pass. And it's really frustrating for the guy at the bottom to defend this, okay? Because I'm turning towards his hips, his arms aren't really in the game. Really the only option Daryl has is to cross face me really hard. So if I'm leaning back, he hooks my head, that's gonna be bad news. So make sure when you're in this position, keeping your head low. That way he doesn't have access to stuff. And keep your bottom foot curled back by your butt and your toes in the mat. That way, if he tries to roll you, you got a post here. You can't go backwards. So now in this position here, I'm just gonna come in. I'm just gonna just push down on the knee. I'm pushing down with not my elbow here. This is weak. I'm gonna go with my hand. Just shake the baby a little bit. As soon as that knee pops out, I'm driving it across the mat like I'm trying to go to mount. 9 times out of 10, Daryl goes, no mount, and he posts on my hand, posts on my thigh. Boom, underhook. Pop. Cross knee out. This is a classic Sonny Achilles move. Very high percentage. So Daryl has half guard. I land in its neutral position. I don't have the underhook. As soon as I see I don't have the underhook, I'm turning. Turn towards his legs. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. So I'm in nice and tight here. A lot of weight on Daryl. I just push down on his knees. I'm shaking my leg up and down. Very difficult to resist. As soon as my knee pops free, just drive it across. Daryl's checking my knee now, making a nice big hole for me, kind of like we were looking for when we went knee on belly, right? Underhook, switch my head. Now I'm just gonna come up and just pop my knee straight up. Here, drop my knee to the side, cross knee out. You guys need to see that one more time? Yes, please. So I'm in half guard. I realize that this is not as neutral position for me here. Arm over the back, underneath the shoulder. So I'm going like right behind the shoulder blade here. Turn towards his hips. Pinching my knee at the bottom. I've got my leg curled back. I'm digging my toes into the mat. I'm just going to heel toe all the way up. Daryl's going to hang on for dear life because he doesn't want to get his guard passed. Now here, I just push down and shake, 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 shake. As soon as that knee pops out, drive it across like I'm looking for mount. He's always going to check it. Get this nice deep underhook. Switch your head, go back to the first pass. Cross knee all the way through. Super reliable, very high percentage. Cool. When Daryl's on his side, I was showing Dave and Hayden this. If Daryl's on his side, I can still use my guard passing game, but I can't turn here because Daryl's got too much of an angle. What I gotta do is I gotta cross face him. So basically I'm just gonna come, I'm just gonna hook, I'm gonna push this way and make a big circle. Lift his chin up and then get him flat. Then I can do whatever half guard pass I want. So cross facing, it feels dirty and it feels really mean. It is pretty mean, but it's really effective. And it's very silly if you kind of ignore the simple option because it's uncomfortable. In most cases, pain equals compliance. So that's it's good jiu-jitsu. You know, good jiu-jitsu is not always nice. So if Daryl's flat here, I can just hook, bring him around, get him flat, okay? But if Daryl's on his side, he has the underhook, completely different game here, okay? If Daryl's got a good underhook, he's halfway to sweeping me, he's halfway to escaping. Daryl could be setting up a sweep, he'd be coming to his knees, he'd be coming up into a single leg like we've been looking at here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff Daryl can do with the underhook. Most good half guard games come from having this underhook. Okay, so if I see this underhook, there's two schools of thought. One school of thought is playing this wizard game, where I loop back over the arm like an overhook, and I play here. The wizard is a very powerful tool, very effective tool, but the problem is, it's not good for keeping Daryl flat. It's not good for keeping him on his back. If I got into Daryl's half guard, I've probably done a lot of things right at this point. I might have taken him down. I might have passed to this point. I don't want to let Daryl up and have to reset. So rather than play the wizard game, I'm gonna do a high step guard pass. So all I'm gonna do, so Daryl gets the underhook. As soon as I feel that, that's my trigger. My hand's gonna go on the mat, and my free leg is gonna kick over. Step back. Same move we've been doing for a long time. So I was just gonna go from here and touch the other side of the mat, on the other side of Daryl's body here. Now when I do this, I'm trying to land my knee on the top of Daryl's thigh. So I step back, and I'm just gonna pinch it here. So that way I have control when I land. Now when I land, I gotta wrap Daryl's head, and I gotta use shoulder pressure to keep him turned. If I start leaning back here trying to get out of these legs, Daryl's gonna roll on top of me. Yeah, and I'm just gonna basically give him 2 points. Or give him top position to punch me in the face, one of the two. Whatever game you're playing. Underhook, just put hands on the mat, take a big step. Now as I step back, when I touch the mat, I'm trying to just pinch right on the side of the thigh. Here, I want to say lean forward, shoulder pressure. Yep, just keep pressure on that guy with your shoulder, that way you can't turn into you. Now from here, I'm just going to hip, peel these out. Oh, hit my side control. It should be instinctual. That's why we're going to drill this next week too. So as soon as you feel that underhook, as soon as that goes boom, underhook in, step. Now I'm laying on the underhook here, okay? So the other time we lay on the underhook is the back control escape. You guys remember like the classic Pedro Sauer back control escape? Clip your ball on your side. Yeah, Brazilian snap. You know, all that stuff. It's the same concept here. I'm laying on the underhook to kill it. Lean shoulder pressure in. Hip, hip, hip. Feel that out. Into side control. Okay? It looks fancy, it's really not. You guys can do it. You guys have been doing the high step for 5 weeks now. Same thing.